How are my kids getting scammed? What, mom? I didn't know, says my kids. Extra charges on the bill, suspicious emails, photos of half naked young people, the credit card being compromised, the computer has a virus or is hacked, crying teenagers, damaged reputations. How does this happen? Well, today I'm going to tell you how your child is getting scammed online right now. And most likely, they don't even know it. Hello, my name is Christina Campos. I'm founder of The Impactful Parent, and every week I give you parenting videos that help you in your parenting journey. If you have a particular topic or parenting question about your school age child that you would like for me to address, please submit it at theimpactfulparent@gmail.com or by messaging me on social media. And all submissions are kept anonymous. Now, today, I'm going to talk to you about the most common online dangers. I'll explain the tactics that these bad intentioned people are using to victimize your child because these manipulative and sneaky tactics are completely unexpected by the average teen. And then stick around to the end because I'm also going to be giving you steps for keeping your child as safe as possible. So let's get started. Online poses many dangers and exposure to things our kids shouldn't see. I have broken down most of the online dangers into 5 categories. We have cyberbullying, damaged reputations, sexual predators, exposure to sexual content, and private information being compromised. Now, most parents are aware of these dangers, but it's also important for parents to know how kids are getting compromised so that they can set up their parental controls, make their rules, and teach children about the dangers. And then don't forget to look out for these red flags. So, in my opinion, it's not wise just to cross your fingers and hope that the predator is not going to find my kid. Instead, impactful parents are proactive about avoiding dangers. So let's talk about how online predators are baiting children to get them to do what they want. So, how online predators bait children. Number 1, they pose as a child your child's age or a little bit older. Whenever you meet someone new online, you have no idea who is on the other side. These people are lying to your children because it's easy and they can. Your child is vulnerable because kids feel invincible and they trust too easily too. The predator will start off slow and manipulate your child by gaining trust before they even start asking anything that would set off a red flag. However, with time, your child does trust the relationship more and more. Predators will send fake or even real nude photos and then ask for photos back. They may pressure your child to engage in cyber sex and then secretly record that conversation. The predator may use photos and conversation that your child has given and then blackmail your child into sending them money or more images or to meet the perpetrator for sexual acts. I think the scariest thing about a stranger posing as a young person to manipulate children is that many of the predators acquire the sexual images that they're looking for by deceit or even without the victim's consent. That means that your child doesn't even realize that they're being used or being victimized. Another important fact is that most sex exploitation threats come from people your child already knows. That means don't take comfort in thinking your child is safe if they only talk to people they know online. That's not going to help. The dangers for strangers versus familiar people is about the same. Let's get to the next one. How online predators bait children. Number 2, they get your child to click a link. Phishing is when an attacker sends a fraudulent email, maybe a text, or a direct message to trick a person into giving out their personal information or to deploy malicious software to the victim's electronic device. Your kid doesn't have to be dumb or naive or clueless to fall for this. In fact, many people fall victim to phishing tactics because these manipulative messages look legit. It might appear that the message came from a friend, even though it did not, and the attacker will pose as someone that you might know. The messages themselves are very professional looking. They may have logos or have manipulative language that says things like, I think you're in this video. These emails or messages have wording that sparks kids' attention and activates their emotions, such as fear or excitement and wonder. And since kids act upon their emotions more easily than their logic, many kids don't think twice before clicking on the link that will send them to a legitimate looking login page requesting their information, or maybe a dummy site that allows hackers to access their electronic device. How online predators bait children, number 3. They promise your child gifts. This tactic is used by sexual offenders, cyber bullies, and even big corporations. Your child will get an email, a text, or a social media message offering them free products or services. Maybe they bait your child with a free music download, discounts on their favorite purchases, free porn, something to level up their game in the gaming world, whatever they think that your child would like. The predators will ask your child to click a link and give their personal information to retrieve their free gift. Now, the malware that the predator installs when your child clicks can steal files and track their actions and access their device camera, and even take their personal information from inside their device, whether it's a computer or phone. And then the result is personal information stolen or hacked. And another thing to consider is how social media manipulates your child's personal information as well. To sign up for social media accounts, you must give basic personal information. From there, most social media companies will put products your child might like into their social media feed and then lure them into clicking on their interests. Once your child clicks, the social media companies will track how often your child will click on a certain thing, how they pause before they scroll, all their scrolling habits, all the clicks. The information is stored and it is extremely valuable. So these companies will sell that information to advertisers who pay for the chance to get in front of your child's eyes. Now, all these companies want your child to stay on their device indefinitely and will purposefully create content and algorithms that spark social media addiction. These companies are targeting your child purposefully for their own gain, and some of the content they're putting in front of your child, it's inappropriate. How online predators bait children, number 4. They will claim to have hacked you. Now, could this be true? Yeah. Suppose your child has already given them personal information and have clicked the link. In that case, the threat might be real. But other predators just pretend to have hacked the child's computer or phone to blackmail the child for money. Maybe even blackmail them for sexual photos, threats, whatever the perpetrator wants. And sometimes it's difficult to tell if the perpetrator is lying or telling the truth because they have already gotten enough personal information from the child, something like maybe a password. So then perpetrators use that password as evidence that they have been hacked and that they are a threat. The predator uses the hacking lie to pressure your child into things that they shouldn't do. How online predators bait children, number 5. They claim to be a modeling agency. Now, this tactic works much more often than you would think. Many kids dream of fame and opportunity and to be a model and money and acceptance, and teens especially love to hear that they are beautiful because deep down inside, a lot of them are very insecure. So the perpetrator might ask for more photos from a child to build a modeling portfolio. They will flood your child with compliments and empty promises. And in the end, your child might give the perpetrator revealing photos. Or the predator might take a photo that is relatively innocent and actually edit it so that it looks sexually explicit. And how online predators bait children, number 6. They take the first step and hope that your child will follow their lead. This tactic is very popular among predators, hackers, and cyberbullies. The predator will encourage a child to reciprocate an act, and this act is oddly effective because the perpetrator gains your child's trust by doing the act first. For example, maybe a perpetrator might send a semi nude photo over to your child and then ask for one in return. It's a very much a I will show you mine if you show me yours. And then the perpetrator's requests usually start small and innocent. And then, when there are no repercussions from the first act, the perpetrator makes the next request. And your child might be getting groomed into more dangerous and illegal acts. And they don't even realize it because the progression seems very small, very innocent. One thing to remember, though, is that this tactic is often used between boyfriends and girlfriends in relationships, too. I will show you mine if you show me yours. It's a common way to flirt and explore sexuality for kids. But what happens when that relationship is over? So, another thing to talk to your kids about. Now, let's get to how can parents prevent their children from becoming a target? So, I'm just going to list off a quick 10 things that you can do. The first of all, stop asking, what age is the best time to give my child a phone? Okay. It isn't about the age of your child that tells you about the readiness of your child to have this little small computer in their back pocket. Instead, look for the child's maturity and when you, as the parent, are ready to start monitoring and teaching your child about the online world. Because I know 9-year-olds that can handle the responsibility of phones, and I also know 16-year-olds that can't. You must gauge your child's maturity to follow the rules and then that they can make good choices. The first mistake that many parents make is exposing their children to the online world before the child or the parent is ready. Number two, teach children to never send nude or sex images or videos to anyone. Anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. Number three, teach children the red flags of clicking and putting their email or personal information into a website or app or landing page. Number four, teach children to be suspicious of any link that asks them to just click here. Number five, teach children to bring any suspicious activity or messages to you or another trusted adult for help. Parents can look at the website and can help kids determine if the links are safe or if it's a scam. Number six. Number six is teach children to screenshot and save anything that feels off. Because tell your child to trust their gut and not to delete anything. Suppose blackmailing or cyberbullying occurs in the future. And in that case, you and your child will be very grateful that you didn't delete the evidence. Number seven, encourage your child to make all their social media accounts private. Number eight, use parental controls and monitor tools to help filter inappropriate content, unsafe websites, malware links, and other destructive content. Number nine, that teach your children that nothing is free. Encourage kids to ask themselves, what do they really want from me here? Not everyone is a scammer, but it is important to teach kids to be cautious, and many kids are simply too naive. They either think they are invincible, that won't happen to me, or they just don't see the danger. We want to encourage our children to ask questions, to be observant, and to figure out what's the angle. And then lastly, number 10, give your child a phone that doesn't have social media or internet access. I recommend the Gab wireless phone and watches. These devices look like a smartphone, but without the dangers of online for strangers and getting on to content that you don't want them to see. I have Gab wireless devices for my own children. And if you want to know more, you can check out the link. Just go to gabwireless.com/promo/impactful And the best part about that link is that when you go there, you're going to get a discount code. So it will help you decide maybe if that's going to be good for your kiddo too. I hope this episode brought you value. Keep your child safe by talking to your child about what was said today. I make my kids hear this lecture too. Give me back my phone, my child will scream, but I won't give it back until they hear me out. And yes, of course, this lecture comes with the price of lots of moans and groans. And I know this, don't worry, not me, mom. But the truth of the matter is, impactful parents tell their kids the facts and educate their children so that the child can make better choices. And yes, most of the time, that telling of the child is through the weeds of crossed arms and eye rolls. But I sleep better at night knowing I did my best to educate my children and to keep them safe. If this video was valuable to you today, become a more impactful parent by downloading the Impactful Parent app. The Impactful Parent app is free and full of episodes just like this one that will help you in your parenting journey. Investing in your family looks like learning the warning signs of certain behaviors so that you can stop bad things before they happen. It's discovering new parenting techniques to make your parenting more effective and joining a community of like-minded parents who also want to be the best parent they can for their child. All of this and so much more can be found inside the Impactful Parent app. So download it today. You got nothing to lose. With this free parenting app, it's free. It's a great resource for you. So go to theimpactfulparent.com and discover how you can step up your parenting game and be a more impactful parent. But until next time, you got this, parents. I'm just here to help.